Okay, so I'm presenting Brighella. And first of all, Brighella's name actually means quarrel or trouble, which is already a really good representation of who he is as a character. And some words that are commonly used to describe him are quick-witted, opportunistic, roguish, and greedy. These are very fitting words because he's very impulsive and he loves to play tricks on people and prank characters, but he doesn't think at all about the consequences of what he does. He's extremely dedicated to his master and will do anything for him, and his master obviously uses him to do most of his dirty work. So Brighella will steal things from people and go as far to even assassinate characters upon his master's command. And even though he does all these things because his master wants him to, it doesn't mean that Brighella doesn't enjoy doing them. He has a very kind of cruel, twisted sense of humor. He thrives off of, he loves watching other characters get in trouble or watching them get hurt. He loves their misfortune. And he also loves double dealing and foul play. So he will masquerade as a shop owner or an innkeeper or a soldier, and he will trick people into trusting him and think that he's a nice person, when in reality he will take advantage of that trust and steal all their money or all their possessions and just take advantage of all the characters he can. And he's not so much a physical fighter, but he loves to play mind games with people, he tricks people, and that's how he does most of his fighting. He's also an expert musician, which is kind of random, but that's how he entertains his master. So sometimes he's seen with some sort of musical instrument. And his classic Lazzi, I found two specific ones. The doggy treat Lazzi, where Arlecchino is taking food from Brighella, and Arlecchino is so thankful and so happy that he doesn't really notice when Brighella starts to throw it across the stage, and Arlecchino starts chasing it on his hands and feet like a dog, and then Brighella obviously makes fun of him for acting like a dog. And then there's the ladder Lazzi, also of Arlecchino, where Arlecchino is climbing a ladder or walking on stilts, and Brighella, being the mean, twisted person he is, will just come up and shake them so that Arlecchino falls off. And something I found interesting about their relationship was I couldn't really find any specific origins for Brighella or when he really started appearing in Commedia. I know that he was one of the earlier characters, but was actually overshadowed by Arlecchino later on. And I'm not totally sure of this, but maybe because he was enjoyed by the audience more, Brighella felt replaced, and so then therefore was really, really mean to Arlecchino specifically. And then for his costume and his mask, he's usually seen wearing a white smock and white pants with green trim. It's not a super nice costume because he's not yet a master, but he's also not a servant, so it's nicer than theirs. He usually wears some sort of cape and has a slapstick, a sword, or sometimes a musical instrument. And then the masks that I saw were quite different from our school masks, because the ones that I saw had really angry eyebrows and longer noses and really thick mustaches, and they're also sometimes green to represent his greed. And I was really interested about the comparisons of his character because I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but there's a TV show called That 70s Show, and there's a character on there called Hyde, who's actually entirely based around Brighella for his sarcastic humor and his quick-wittedness, and also his underestimated intelligence, because a lot of people do think that Brighella is kind of stupid, but in actuality, when he needs to be, he can be very resourceful. And there's a whole Italian film called The Innkeeper that's based around Brighella, and it was made back in the 1940s, and I couldn't really find a good description of what it was about, but like I said, Brighella sometimes masquerades as an innkeeper to gain other characters' trust before taking advantage of them. So maybe it has something to do with that, but I couldn't really find anything specifically about that. Also, any movie that you watch now that has a prominent villain character, you can see lots of aspects of Brighella. If you guys have seen Suicide Squad, pretty much all of those characters have a lot of the same characteristics as he does, with his not really thinking about the consequences of his actions, very impulsive, and doing whatever he wants to do, even if it's really cruel, as long as it amuses himself. And his movement, he always walks on the ball with his feet as if he's always sort of ready to pounce. And he doesn't walk with a lot of energy because he conserves all of his power, so when he needs to strike, he can do so very quickly and very strong. And his upper body is very heavy, so he always walks with his arms and his shoulders in front of him and gestures with his arms. And unlike a lot of the other characters, he's not really concerned with taking up as much space as he possibly can, but he likes to have a lot of room for his arms and to explain everything. And when he talks to people one-on-one, he'll come up very, very close behind them and then speak, but when he's speaking to a big group of people, he'll just be standing in front of them gesturing. So now I'll do the demonstration. Oh yes, hello everybody. Okay, I am Brighella. Now we are going to play a card game. So here I have the 2 and the 3 and the 8. Okay, now I'm going to mix them up. And okay, now you have to find the 2. Point to the 2. Excellent, well done, a genius you are. Okay, now I'm going to mix them again. Now you have to find the 3. Point to the 3. Oh, excellent, well done, you are so smart, so good at this game. Okay, now this time we're going to bet money on it, okay? So now you have to find the ace, so we're just going to, okay, find the ace, where is it? Oh, good try, okay, now it's okay. Okay, thank you. Does anybody else want to play the card game? Yes, I'm the master of all these card games. No? Yeah, that was like representing the foul play and like the switching the cards and giving characters a lot of false confidence so that way you can take advantage of them.